What's going on, guys? It's Modern, and today we've got another episode of Road to the Top, still using the Eveltal and Groudon team that I used at the Arizona Midseason Challenges, the Midseason Showdowns. Oh no, music needs to be on 7. 7, if you don't know, Music 7 is for the Primals, and the Primal Groudon and Kyogre. It's my favorite music. Yeah. So obviously, as you guys can tell, I'm starting to put out videos more consistently, even though I guess it's only 2 videos. But hopefully we can keep this consistency going. Like I said in the previous episode, I do have finals next week, which is going to get in the way of recording. But I will be able to record consistently after that. I will be going to Seattle Regionals next weekend as well, and then 2 weeks after that I'll be going to Utah Regionals, so those will also be a couple of breaks that I have, but once I'm back I might make a team report or two, just on either my teams or maybe any of my friends' teams if they do good, because obviously that'd be pretty cool just to sort of share people's success, see what they did right with their teams and maybe how they played. Wow, it's taking a while to find a matchup, which is weird. Funny to note, we've hit 100 battles. Oh my god. Tommy from Argentina, 1475 rating. Okay, and it's the big 5 plus Gengar, so this isn't too tough right here. The fact that they don't have Kangaskhan makes me very happy. And I anticipate they're just going to go for a very standard lead. I'm just going to go for my standard setup. Kangaskhan and Eveltal lead. It also is good to note that Eveltal's pretty nice against the Gengar lead right here, because I can play around Icy Wind by just going for like a Protect and a Snarl, or even maybe a double Sucker Punch if I want to go for that prediction. I'm not going to bring Thundurus because, if you don't know, I don't actually run Taunt on my set. And if anything, if they do end up having Smeargle, then most likely it's either, like if they do lead Talonflame and Smeargle or something weird, they're either just going to Tailwind and Protect, or maybe there's Scarf variant with Quick Guard, which I don't really care about. I'm more concerned about beating the Xerneas lead, which is what most people lead against this team. So let's see, Kangaskhan, Eveltal against Smeargle and Groudon. So this is immediately a pretty good position for me, because I can just go immediately for a... What do I expect them to go for? Depends on if they're special or physical Groudon. But I think what I'm gonna do is just fake out the Smeargle and then go for a Dark Pulse into Groudon. Yeah, because what that means is I cover the potential option of Smeargle being Scarf, because a Fake Out and a Snarl will KO it. I don't know, that might have been a bad play. I probably should have just Dark Pulsed the Groudon. But I like going for Snarl just in case if they're special, because if I really need to, I can just Protect and attack. But I do get the Fake Out off, so they are not protecting with Smeargle this turn. And... okay, and they're not Scarf, so maybe they were just predicting me to go for the maybe the double target into Groudon or something. But I just wanted to play it safe right here. And there's Swords Dance Groudon, so this is going to work in my favor, because if you don't know, Eveltal on my team has Foul Play, and Foul Play is actually based on your opponent's attack. So he actually just almost doubled my damage against him. Against his Groudon. And I think this turn I can just go for a Double Edge into Talonflame, Foul Play into the Groudon. Because I could honestly care less. Okay, and they just go for Tailwind too, so they're going to lose Groudon and Talonflame, so... Wow. 5 minutes into the episode, and we already have a win. This is a bit mediocre. I might do a third battle, depending on how long my next battle goes. Because I was thinking my opponent would just Protect and Tailwind, but they didn't. Because what I would have had to do is I probably would have just double Sucker Punched into Groudon. And yeah, no, Foul Play is easily going to pick up the knockout right there. So I definitely don't regret going for the Snarl turn 1 of this match. Because like I was saying, I was thinking they might be Scarf Smeargle. Just because they have Gengar, it felt a little off to me. But since they do have Xerneas, I'm in a really good position because I can just go for a Double Edge and a Snarl. Yeah. Yeah, I can. I was going to say maybe Foul Play, but it's not going to do that much damage. Moonblast, going into Yveltal, and they're just standard Xerneas, so this isn't going to do too much. However, he does drop my special attack. He's actually Scarf Xerneas. Wow, I just realized. I wasn't even paying attention. They're bulky Scarfed Xerneas. This is really interesting. And he avoids the Snarl too, so that's not really big, but sort of weird. And I'm just going to go for... I mean... Okay, they can KO my Yveltal, but I can KO their Xerneas. So, I mean, I have Groudon and Cress in the back anyways. It's not like it really makes a difference. Let's see. In a best-of-3 situation, I revealed Fake Out and Double Edge on Kang. And I revealed Snarl, Foul Play on my Yveltal. So, yeah, I could probably just go for a Double Edge and a Snarl again. Wait. Oh, they have Tailwind up. Okay. I forgot about that. And Dazzling Gleam actually takes up my Yveltal. I believe that was a roll. Yeah, it was definitely a roll. But I knock out the Xerneas with this. Critical hit didn't matter at all. Sorry, I forgot that I had Tailwind up. Or that they had Tailwind up. Because I was going to say they outsped my Kangaskhan, but obviously my opponent just let me gain such a good lead right there. Wow, okay, they really could have punished me if they protected and Tailwinded. So what would I have needed to do to come back from that? I obviously would have had to stall out. Okay, you know, in that situation, I think what they would do is like Geomancy and Fire Punch my Kang, and then I would Foul Play still. Because regardless, what I would do is I would go for a Double Edge into Double Edge into the Groudon and probably a Foul Play as well. Yeah, that's probably what I would have done. Because since they had the Swords Dance Groudon, they had Precipice Blades and Fire Punch most likely. That would have meant that they would need to... what is it? They would have needed to Fire Punch one of my Mons, and... Yeah, they would have Fire Punched Kangaskhan. Foul Play still would have knocked out, and I still would have won. So yeah, I mean, I guess that right there was a result of my opponent getting punished really hard for not conserving their Smeargle. I mean, they were a low-rated opponent anyways. Sorry, I'm wasting time talking about what my opponent was doing and what I would have done for my game plan. Because obviously it was like definitively a win after I KO'd Talonflame and Groudon on the second turn of the match. Yeah, that went 4 turns. Yeah. And the Snarl miss mattered a little bit because it would have changed the match a little bit right there. Not really, I guess, but if my opponent went for a Moonblast on the Kangaskhan, I would have needed to reveal Groudon. It's not really that important, but I just like trying to practice as if it's best of 3 whenever I'm playing in best of 1 scenarios, because obviously being able to conserve as much information as possible is really, really important in best of 3s. And that's actually like some of the gimmicks of this team, I guess. Most notably, I guess you could say Swagger Thunderous, because someone could play around Taunt and I don't have Taunt. And then obviously just not revealing moves, so like if someone doesn't know what my Yveltal's set is, maybe they think I have Oblivion Wing or something on my set, then they could, through playing, I could say, okay, I'm just going to go for these 1 or 2 moves. They won't know my item 100%, they won't know my set 100%. And we're actually facing another Big 6 team. This one's a little bit different, though. the Meowstic over the Salamence, which is actually really important because... Yeah, that's actually really, really good for me because I could potentially bring double Mega right here. Because Salamence is good against everything except the Xerneas. Yeah, I think I might go Salamence Groudon for... it's weak to Smeargle, though. Because I could see them going Kangaskhan Smeargle. Yeah, I mean, I'll just go with my standard setup. Kangaskhan, Yveltal, Groudon, Cresselia. I think the fact that we both have the Trick Room modes is fine. Because at the very worst, it'll be a speed tie between Groudons. And my team has a lot better matchup against the Groudon. Whereas his, obviously, Talonflame and Kangaskhan. I mean, I guess we're sharing the Kangaskhan, but the Yveltal makes it a little bit easier on my side. And let's see what they lead. Oh, Talonflame and Zern, so that's actually nice. Or I'm fine with that. Are they going to Quick Guard? They might Quick Guard. They definitely could Quick Guard. I think I might just want to go straight for the Trick Room mode, though. Yeah, I'll fake out Zern and Snarl, I think. Because they could go for a Quick Guard, but I think they want to... I think they're going to play around me, maybe attacking into Talonflame, predicting them to protect Xerneas. Okay, but they just go for Quick Guard anyways, so I guess that's fine. I do have Protect Kangaskhan for situations like this, because I can go for a Snarl. I mean, Xerneas can't one-hit KO my Kangaskhan from here anyways, unless they're maybe a modest set. And they actually are, because they underspeed my Yveltal. But regardless, I'm fine right here. Because if I went for a double edge, I'd be in range of the Moonblast. So their first of all, we know for a fact they're modest Xerneas in this situation, but they can't one-hit KO my Yveltal. Is it worth switching in Cresselia? I don't think so. I think I just want to conserve Cress this turn. Or I don't want to take any unnecessary damage with Cress. And I think I'm just going to go for a Protect and a Snarl again. They actually just Protect Zern, so maybe they're just trying to play it super safe or something. I don't imagine they could go for Tailwind. Because okay, they do. Because I was going to say, I don't want to give Smeargle a free switch in. Because that'd put me in a very, very bad position. Okay, and this is another turn where I guess I am going to bring in my Cresselia and then just go for another Snarl. Because I think conserving the Kangaskhan is more important now. Okay, and they're just going to Brave Bird. Snarl's going to be able to take out the Talonflame. Looks like Life Orb damage. Actually, not even. They do go for Dazzling Gleam, though, so not able to knock out my Yveltal from here, which is nice. So at the very least, I know if they do bring in the Smeargle next turn, they're going to have to Moonblast into Cresselia twice, I think. If even, to be able to knock out my Cresselia. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. Because Xerneas now, it doesn't have any of the special attack boosts. It's only special defense and speed. And since it's not able to do really any damage... what is it? Since it's not really able to do any damage to my Groudon, I think I'm just in a good position now. And they're probably just going to fake out Cresselia and Dazzling Gleam. Could they Power Up Punch? I don't think they'd Power Up Punch in this situation. Yeah, I'm just going to switch out into Groudon and Sucker Punch. Because I think they're just going to fake out in Dazzling Gleam. If they go for Power Up Punch, that gives me the option of going for Trick Room. And since they're not boosted with Xerneas at all, that means that a Moonblast plus a Power Up Punch wouldn't KO me. Maybe if they were still +2, they could go for that play, but Given that their Xerneas isn't boosted, and since they have Kang on the field, I think they're just going to go for Fake Out and Dazzling Gleam. And then if they Moonblast, then I'm just going to get free damage off on both of these. And I'd rather drop Xerneas' special attack yet another stage and get chip damage off. So let's see. Fake Out, yeah. Okay, into the Cresselia slot. Sucker Punch going to deal a little bit of chip damage, which is really nice. Critical hit, I don't think it'll matter. Let's see, Dazzling Gleam comes out, does a little bit of damage. And now I'm just free to bring in my Kangaskhan, because I can just Fake Out their Kang, and then go for a Precipice Blades. Okay, and they don't protect either, so I could potentially get a double knockout. Their Kangaskhan's really bulky looking, though, so maybe. They're going to go for a Moonblast, I assume. Yeah, into my Groudon. See, they flinch, Precipice Blades. Kangaskhan avoids, but it hits Xerneas, and that's the one that really mattered. Because now what it could come down to is a Kangaskhan Speed tie, I assume. I think. I'm almost absolutely sure. Their Tailwind goes out too, so I was thinking about that. Don't think I wasn't thinking about that with the Tailwind. And they bring out their Groudon. So let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out into Cresselia and then just Double Edge their Kang. Because Double Edge should be able to knock them out from here. If not, I'd honestly be very surprised. If they have Substitute, I could also be in a very bad position. Let's see. So, if they do outspeed my Kangaskhan and get a low kickoff, I need to be able to KO their Kangaskhan this turn, 100%. I don't know if they have Substitute. This is where best of 3 is really big. I don't think it's worth protecting Groudon and switching in Cresselia or anything. Because I think they're just going to go for the really obvious play, just based on how they've been playing. So I know I can survive a Jolly low kick right here almost 100% of the time. And they actually go for Power Up Punch, so this is good for me since they don't have low kick. Because they need to connect Precipice Blades to KO my Kangaskhan. But I also lose if Double Edge doesn't get the knockout right here, so... Come on, Double Edge. Okay, yeah, and that definitely knocks out from there. And then if they try to punish my Kangaskhan by going for a Fire Punch, then I'm also in a really good position still. P-Blades, Cresselia's Levitate, miss? Yeah! Got the hacks back at my opponent. Yeah, and in this situation, I'm just going to go for Trick Room and a Double Edge. And there's nothing my opponent can really do to punish that at this point. If they have Substitute, okay, and they're just fast Groudon too, so if they go for Substitute, Kangaskhan's not going down this turn. Oh my god, and they actually miss a Rock Slide on the Kang. And it probably knocks out from there, but... oh yeah, and Trick Room goes up. But yeah, my Groudon definitely wins from here. I can just go for a Gravity and a Sucker Punch, I think. Actually, I don't even need to go for that. Ice Beam plus Sucker Punch KOs. Yeah, and they're just going to attack right here, because they need to go for Rock Slide again. Yeah, and Ice Beam should knock out from there. I do have some investment in this Cresselia's offenses. Okay. Alright, that's good. That's good. So I was going to say, for that match right there, it would have been a lot different if my opponent had Substitute. They were playing very obviously, but, I mean, it really wouldn't have mattered. Like, if they protected their Xerneas that one turn... oh, wow, and they just sort of Rage Quit with right there. And I'm actually going to save that. I really liked that match. No, but what I was saying was that when the turn I was saying they would protect their Xerneas, it really didn't make a difference because Moonblast was not really doing anything at that point. Their Xerneas wasn't able to one-hit knock out my Kangaskhan, and even if they just got a free switch into Groudon, which, actually, now that I think about it, Precipice Blades plus Fake Out wouldn't have even knocked out their Kangaskhan anyways, so it still would have been the same exact position, because I could just switch out into Cresselia and then, like, Sucker Punch their Kangaskhan, or even Double Edge, and then I'd still be in a good position. So that right there just sort of shows some of the strength of this mode that my team has against the Big Six. I think that being able to snarl Xerneas into infinity is really nice, because usually it relies on that +2 boost to get off a lot of damage, but once you get rid of the +2 boost, it's not really getting any KOs. And especially against Cresselia with Citrus Berry, and with a lot of special defense, even at -1, it can't, I believe it can't KO, a mix of Kangaskhan's Double Edge and Xerneas' Moonblast can't KO my Cresselia. So yeah, Snarl is just really, really strong. And I think that being able to punish people for not punishing your Snarl for being a passive play is really huge. And that obviously paid out for that match. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please go leave a like. Helps me out a lot, helps grow the channel. If you want to keep up with all my content, go and look at my social media and hit subscribe. I'm ModernGamer. Thanks for watching.